Welcome to the Stellantis Tech and AI podcast. I'm Dale Jewett, your host. In this episode, we're going to talk about how Stellantis is making time in your vehicle more useful and more exciting. My guest is Sarah Schoen, who is the Global Head of Software Sales and Subscriptions. Welcome to the podcast, Sarah.
Thank you, Dale, for having me.
It's great to have you. And we've been working a little bit together lately because the connected services part of Stellantis has recently introduced some new bundles for consumers in the United States to start with when they buy their vehicles. And it kind of falls into two buckets. One is we call Connect One, and the other is Connect Wi-Fi Plus. Let's start at the very beginning and kind of talk about what these bundles are about and how they came to be.
Sure, absolutely. We streamlined our connected services recently to provide more value and simplicity to customers based on what they told us they wanted. So first of all, Connect One, it's included with the vehicle now for 10 years. So we recently made that change, and it's the features customers expect. And it's for example, OTA, SOS, vehicle health alerts, remote unlock and lock. Now, Connect Wi-Fi Plus launched recently in North America, but we've also launched now in South America and in Europe. I'll talk about what's offered in North America. It includes Wi-Fi for up to 8 devices, drive alerts, remote commands from your phone, stolen vehicle tracking, Alexa, and more. So in kind of a real life scenario, it's an optional service to customers, but it could help your life. So for example, if you're on a road trip and you have several kids in your vehicle and you want to keep them entertained, it's just not something that works well with your cell phone hotspot. So Wi-Fi will enable that. If you're working, you can work from pretty much anywhere from your vehicle. You can cool your car on a hot summer day. Or with Drive Alerts, which is in the package, if you have a 16-year-old who's a new driver, you can set perimeters, you can help keep track of time limits and help keep that driver safe.
Excellent. That's a lot of services in those packages. And it's funny, you say, if you have a lot of kids in the car, I'll be honest, if you have one kid in the car, the Wi-Fi hotspot's probably good enough to keep them occupied. I'm so old, my kids had to grow up with vehicles that had, first of all, VCRs embedded in the minivans and then DVD players. And if you take a long trip, those things can be a godsend. And I'm sure they still are today, even though my children are now fully grown. And I got to tell you, because I drive a Pacifica hybrid minivan, but my wife drives a different vehicle. And one of the features I love about your connected services today is that I can use my phone and the app to check on the fuel level in my wife's vehicle, because my job is to keep her car full of gas. We decided along that a long time ago. But if I ask her, does your car need gas? She'll see like, I don't know. She never looks at the gas gauge. So you're saving me a lot with some of these features, Sarah.
Oh, thanks.
Talk to me about, you'd mentioned, I'm curious about one of the features. Talk about cooling the vehicle. Can you tell me how that works?
Sure, it's actually pretty simple. So you can cool the vehicle on a hot day from your phone from anywhere you are. So you don't need to be close to your car.
So Sarah, is that as far as we're going, or where do we see types of features going in the future?
Yeah, so I'll say this is just the beginning. It's just the first phase. We actually made these decisions asking customers what they wanted in every market. And of course, we need to evaluate what our competitors offer, but ultimately we took the information from our customers and formulated really unique packages with as much value as possible to our customers. But I'll say at the heart of the answer is that customer expectations are always changing. There was a time where airbags, for example, they were an option on a vehicle. And today, would you ever buy a vehicle without airbags? So again, like what you have today and what you expect is different tomorrow. And so part of my job and my team is to stay ahead of those trends and always evolve. So I'll say this is just the first phase of bringing simplicity and value, but expect a lot more in the future and more markets.
So, Sarah, because I know you lead a global team, how are expectations and experiences different from different regions? Say, what's popular in a place like South America or Europe that maybe Americans don't necessarily consider?
Thanks for asking. This was one of the first questions that I had when I came to the team and I started. So it's obviously it's very complicated. We have 14 iconic brands and Stellantis has a presence all over the world. And so I was also asking the same question, what do customers want? And whether you're in Brazil or India or the US or in France, is it the same? How is it different? So I'll give you some examples, but what we found is there actually is a core set of things that customers expect, no matter where you're located. For example, they expect a great experience. They expect certain features to be included with the vehicle. They want their vehicle to be updated and to be fresh. And they expect, for example, remote commands where you can remotely control your vehicle from your phone from anywhere. But at the same time, we have adapted our packages to market differences based on what customers told us. So, for example, in the US, we heard from customers that they really value convenience. They want the ability to have internet from anywhere they go on multiple devices. So, we've added Wi Fi hotspot into our bundles in North America and also in Brazil. Um, for example, in France, there's really a high value on sustainability and privacy. And so we've updated some of our bundles and EV features, for example, to Connect One. In Brazil, when we did our research, again, there's standard things customers want, but they really value stolen vehicle tracking. And what we found is when reported right away, we have more than a 90% track rate. So this is something that we can offer in our bundles that has real meaning and real value to customers in each of the markets.
Okay, that's very interesting how regional differences. Is your team global? Do you have people in each region to be able to help you make these decisions?
My team is global and I do have people in every region, but we also work really closely with each of the regional leads and the brands to understand what customers want.
So, Sarah, if you don't mind me asking a little bit of sort of a personal question, how did you come to the auto industry?
Thanks for asking. I'll talk a little bit about my career. So I spent some time before automotive at Microsoft in tech and entertainment and worked on several different areas in the company from Windows to Azure and then most recently in gaming. So I was part of the team that started Xbox Game Pass. It's the number one subscription in gaming, but I was really excited to join automotive and be part of this software transformation.
Okay. Were you a car person in any way before you began your work at Stellantis? Did we have to teach you about a steering wheel?
I love automotive and I'm so happy to be here. I also love software and tech. And I'll say one of the biggest things is it seems in automotive there's this major shift with tech being kind of more and more important to the customer and even a reason that the customers make a purchase decision and it adds value to your life. So tech is really an area I'm passionate about.
Okay. Do you think customers are open to new tech in their vehicles? I'm kind of fishing around. I'm curious, what are the challenges?
Absolutely. I'll say it comes down to customers what they expect and what they want in real life scenarios. So I think about it's not so much about the tech itself, it's about what it unlocks. Customers want safety, they want convenience, for example. And there's also this change the last several years where even for your iPhone, for example, you expect it to be fresh and new and have the latest updates. And it's really the same with your vehicle. You're seeing this trend where automakers are realizing the vehicle is actually a platform and we have a way to deliver new software that will help your life and keep your vehicle alive.
Okay. Is artificial intelligence a part of that too? How much does AI play into what you're trying to deliver to vehicles?
I would say absolutely. So the things that my team is working on right now are kind of the new connectivity bundle, an AI solution for the vehicle, and hands-free driving. I'll say very much when I kind of pull from my experience from gaming, it's really about personalization, and it's about having your vehicle for you. And I think about kind of how I would relate it in my daily life is I go very often to the same coffee stand and they make me an Americano. And
Hmm.
I have kind of special add-ons, but when I pull up, the barista, she knows me. My drink is usually ready. And I think about the same for your vehicle. How can your vehicle be customized and personalized for you with whether it's settings you like, helping support you on where you normally go with traffic, and safety and other areas that provide convenience to your life.
Good. Do you think we can get to the point where the vehicle tells your barista you're on the way so that when you get there, it's already ready for you?
The
I mean, she
coffee's
already
ready.
knows he or she already knows what to make for you. Sometime in the future, maybe.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Put that down on the idea board. No problem. So, Sarah, the auto industry has traditionally been rather male dominated. Do you enjoy the work that you do in the auto industry, and do you think being a woman gives you some perspectives?
Yeah, I'll say I love working on software. I love working on technology and bringing it to people's life. When I think about how what advice I would give to another woman or perhaps my younger self, I would say going into automotive, own your voice. Tech is evolving and diverse perspectives are more valuable than ever. You're here for a reason. Early in my career, growing up, I was actually really shy. And so it took
Hmm.
me time to find my voice and grow in my career, but don't wait to be invited. Bring your chair and build a strong network. I'll say that leadership isn't about having all the answers, it's about asking the right questions. So that's the advice I give to anyone or my younger self.
Okay, thank you. That's really interesting. And I would be remiss if I didn't ask, what's your favorite app in your car these days? What do you find you use the most?
I would say I use Spotify for every
Hmm.
drive.
Okay,
I,
good to know. Well, Sarah, this has been an interesting conversation, and I really appreciate it. And my brain is already swirling with ideas. So you might get an email from me soon that says, "Hey, have you guys thought about doing these three things in a car?" Maybe someday you can make one of them happen for me. I don't know.
I hope so. Thanks, Dale.
Well, no problem. And thank you very much for your time and your thoughts. And thanks to all of you for listening to the Stellantis Tech and AI podcast, where we speak with some of the brightest minds in the tech and automotive industries, like Sarah. We invite you to follow Stellantis Tech and AI on LinkedIn and Instagram to join the conversation, stay updated on what's ahead, and be a part of the community exploring the fast lane of technology and AI in the automotive world. We'll see you again soon.